What if I told you there's a proper way to cope with the loss of a loved one? An equation that could cut your grief in half. Well, don't believe me, because I would be lying. Unfortunately, part of the human experience involves losing someone we love. According to therapist Dr. Shatavia Thomas, grieving is like breathing. You have to do it. There's more to it than breathing in and out. But without grieving, you will choke on your built up emotions. But there are certain steps that can help us through the emotional roller coaster of losing someone we'll always remember. I've lost family members and learned many things on my own, but through trial and error, I want to help others find peace of mind at a faster rate. I will guide those in the mourning process by preventing unnecessary feelings of sorrow while still recognizing the emotions you may feel. First, we will talk about the stages of grief. Then, we will discuss how to balance responsibilities while adjusting to your new emotions. And finally, we will talk about ways to care for others who've experienced a loss. Now it's time to start getting comfortable with uncomfortable feelings. We've all heard about the 7 stages of grief, but do we really know what they are? And is it even possible to go through these stages in order? Well, let's take a look. The first stage of grief is shock. You're still not mentally capable of imagining a life without that person. Next is denial. Whether you're pretending that person is still alive or you understate your pain, denial is felt early on when grieving. The next stage may sound surprising. Anger. Through all these emotions comes a point where we may become angry at those around us, at God, or even the person who passed. Our fourth stage is known as bargaining, another coping mechanism to escape the overwhelming feelings of grief by turning to other activities that help us cope with our new reality. Our next point of coping is a topic still sensitive in our society: depression. The drives you once had may have been inspired by the deceased, and your purpose can seem damaged or unachievable in this stage. The turning point comes in the sixth step, known as testing. This is when you're comfortable enough to tap back into your activities you've been avoiding and start socializing with others. Finally, our last step is acceptance. You're now able to go about normal life without dwelling on negative thoughts. And you welcome new relationships without fearing the loss of someone else. Some of these steps may seem unnecessary, but by no means are you expected to go through each one in a specific order. Different relationships require different forms of healing. The only way to successfully cope with loss is to listen to yourself and accept you can't change the past. You can only impact your future. Now that we've talked about the stages of grief, let's learn how to manage our new emotions with everyday responsibilities. It's hard enough to learn how to live without someone we've grown so accustomed to have in our lives, but tasks that were once routine may now feel like an endless challenge that takes up more energy than we can give. Whether you have to stay strong for someone else, take on more economic responsibility, or be the sole caretaker of a child, many of us have no choice but to jump back into normal life after enduring a loss. These tips can help you integrate back into the workforce in a healthy, welcoming way. It is important that we tell our colleagues what we're experiencing. Asking for an extra hand should not be punished, and people are usually honored when you reach out to them. Next is designating a time to grieve. This will help you from breaking down in a professional setting while still giving your emotions an outlet at appropriate times. When in doubt, take a deep breath. Dr. Thomas shared that when triggered, just like when you hyperventilate, you pause, sit down if you need to, figure out the best way to refresh yourself, and keep it moving. These short mental breaks will help you recollect your thoughts and stop dwelling on negativity. Now that we've learned how to manage our new emotions with everyday responsibilities, let's learn how to help others cope with losses in their life. Being there for someone during the loss of a loved one is both an honor and superpower. You need to know when to be there for them and step back when necessary. Ask them what they need help with. It is your responsibility as their friend to make sure the small tasks in their routine are met. Remember not to coddle them. This may make them feel like a burden and can cause them to push you away. The most important thing to keep in mind is making your friend realize how we've all been in mourning at some point in life. Make a connection with their loss to yours and treat them the way you hope someone would when grieving. This will make you seem more approachable even when they don't feel comfortable with their new emotions. Now that we've discussed how to help others with the loss of a loved one, let's start wrapping things up. First, we talked about the 7 stages of grief. Then we learned how to manage grief with everyday responsibilities. Then finally, we discussed how to help others through losses in their lives. I will guide those in the mourning process by preventing unnecessary feelings of sorrow while still recognizing the emotions you may feel. Remember that the mourning process is not just stages to follow, but a process unique to everyone, where its only recurring element is its ability to heal us. Thank you.